I forget when I saw you last in Asheville, but it was, to my recollection, 3 days before the crazy biblical insane flooding of Asheville.
Yeah.
And like I met you at a brewery right down there by the river. And that was one of the places I was seeing pictures, and it was like everything inside of it was washed away. And it happened within like 3 days of being there. So I guess take me back to what happened. I know that you're always tripping me out talking about you got bears and shit outside of your house. I'm like, bro, what are you doing? I'm like, you're not armed to the teeth? Do you need shotguns in every room? What's happening here? You're surrounded by fucking bears, man.
Probably do.
I guess take me back to what that storm going down, and I know you were out there without power and everything else. So take me to that craziness that happened.
Yeah, it was literally the storm of the century. It was a perfect storm, quote unquote, in a way, because I think we had some intense rainfall that had already soaked the ground. So there was like a base layer of water, and then we just got the hell beat out of us. And in my brain, I thought it was gonna be like a 12, 24-hour event, and we were supposed to go to Europe, to Germany, and play a couple of big festivals the following Tuesday. But it's like there was no way in hell we were gonna leave our loved ones and our friends and family in those conditions, because just to put it in the context, like there's places in town. If it was a war zone without the bullets.
Yeah.
It really looked like that, and I wouldn't wish anybody to go through that. It was pretty brutal.
Yeah. How long were you out of power for out at your house?
Man, honestly, I think it's all in the subconscious now. I think I buried a lot of it. It was more than a week, I feel like, but have clean drinking water was like a month and a half. It was like November-ish. So the army was in town. You had to go get your drinking water from the army, these giant container trucks and stuff, and it felt like being an ET or something. Like it was very post-apocalyptic, and it was scary. And I think like there's legit trauma in the area, but I think it's like we're all kind of trauma bonded, and hopefully more resilient due to that. Thank God. I'm very thankful that we all survived, and didn't have too many people in our vicinity, like in our realm, be crazy affected. But we have like fans that come out to our show in Asheville that were literally hanging on to the roof of their houses. And it's just heartbreaking what some people went through. It was a hell of a time. But yeah, here we are still doing music. Thankfully so, because I think I said earlier, it's like, it always pulls us back in. It's our saving grace, and that's why you and I are chatting.
Yeah, I mean, when it went down, and it's weird because I ended up in New York after Hurricane Katrina, so I went out to my dad's, which was an hour north of New Orleans, and just kind of, we knew that trees would likely come through the house. They did, and then I was out there for a few days, and then finally got a flight out of Baton Rouge to go to New York, and then because of his bizarre series of events, ended up staying there for 15 years. But I remember within the first few days of that happening, cell phones are down, communication is down. Just because you can talk to a neighbor doesn't mean that you can get the word out that you're okay, and you don't have a sense of the grand scale of how all of this was affected. So I guess how long, other than your neighbors, were you able to reach out to people, or how long did that take? What was that process of even being like, hey, I'm alive,
Yeah, I remember the storm, I think, peaked at like 6 or 7 in the morning, and I texted friends and family, I'm safe. And the only reason I could text people after that is at the bottom of my hill, a neighbor had Starlink, I believe. And I had another neighbor tell me that neighbor had that, so it was like this word of mouth. Otherwise, I don't remember. It was, I guess, the following Tuesday, we were supposed to leave for Europe, and like we couldn't be in contact with each other. And that was maybe one of the toughest parts, because like you didn't know where to get clean drinking water. You didn't know where to get food. And really, there was a giant line around the grocery store, blocks and blocks worth. And apparently, like by the time you got in, it wasn't even worth it. There's nothing to really get off the shelves. So it was this chaos and crisis mode. A lot of the timelines are all blurry, because it was a straight up survival mode for the first week. And I'm fortunate that I've got family in the Charlotte region, a couple hours away, and I got there like 4 or 5 days after the storm hit, because I just was ill prepared, and getting gas, there was guns pulled, getting gas, and those kinds of stories, and other awful stories from like the country of people getting held up taking supplies and stuff, which was fewer and far between. But yeah, those times you got to be on your toes a little bit, sadly.
Yeah, I mean, when you were going to get water from the army, I guess, was it what was it like the National Guard had set up and they were getting y'all like gallons of water to take back to your house essentially?
Yeah, just like gallons and gallons worth. There's like non-potable water and potable that you could get. And yeah, I want to give props to Dissolver Brewing. I'm not sure if you've been there in downtown Asheville, but like the first day or two, they were very prepared. And yeah, it was one of the few spots in town where you could get water right after it hit.
Wow.
And yeah, it was like a 1 or 2 man crew, like the owner, both the owners, just doing their thing. And there's like a giant line outside, and people are bitching and moaning. And I'm like, man, they didn't see what was going on the inside. It was like 2 of my buddies just being sweethearts and doing their best to help the community. It was all insane. And just honestly, I'm very fortunate that I wasn't smushed in my little cabin in the woods. There were trees down everywhere, and I'm very fortunate to be chatting with you.
None came through the house?
No, thankfully not. On my car, a good bit. Not giant trees, like smaller trees and stuff. But it was so just crazy to see how it unfolded that day. Like I just saw that, I was like, oh shit, my car is totally covered up. And then the bottom of my driveway was covered. I was like, oh, I'm not getting off I got to clear this first. And then, went both ways on the side of the mountain, and it's just, branches upon branches of bigger trees that it's going to take days to get through.
Yeah.
And yeah, so thankfully at the time, I had my bicycle, got through all the trees and biked down to my girlfriend's house in Asheville, which is only like 4 or 5 miles away. But yeah, down power lines, like, just obviously you don't want to touch those. Like yeah, it was like being in a crazy video game, just
Yeah.
getting through it all, and I'm fortunate I'm in decent enough shape to make that happen. But if I was elderly or something, it could have been pretty damn rough.
Damn. So you didn't have like a substantial stockpile of canned food and booze and beer?
Definitely, yeah. I had the beer at the time. Not
Beer?
a ton, yeah. I was like, oh, cool, hurricane party.
Right, exactly.
But not a ton of food. I was ill prepared. But yeah, for me, I think I had gotten back into town like a night or two from working in Charlotte. So I kind of just heard about it in passing. And yeah, I want to give
damn.
props to Ray, our guitarist. I remember our practice space at the time was in Swannanoa, which was just brutalized. But he was like, hey guys, we might want to get this stuff off the ground in there. And I was like, yeah, I was just naive, and most of us were ignorant to it. But I kind of like brushed it off. But thankfully, we took some precautions and didn't lose a ton of stuff. But we did end up having to throw out a lot, like furniture, speakers, anything that kind of got touched with the water, because you don't want to know what's in that, that storm water. It's just,
Totally.
it's pretty awful stuff. Yeah, I had a couple inches of water in my Vista kick,
Damn.
which was pretty nuts to see that. But really, considering that space was in Swannanoa, like we're lucky it didn't get hit even harder. And I remember going back to the space a few days later. There were some Hurricane Katrina survivors from New Orleans, and yeah, I was just making small talk, and man, that made me tear up. Just like some stranger from hours and hours away, just wanting to help us out because they know. They've been through it. They've
Yeah.
been there. And that was just like, there's a lot of beautiful humanity like that. Just people pulling together and strangers just trying to help out humans. And I feel like we all need to experience that more these days,
I agree. Yeah, it's one of the strange benefits of having acrylic shells. You don't need to worry so much about wood warping if they are to get wet, right?
Yeah, that's true. Got
Yeah.
a little lucky with that one, I guess.
Definitely, definitely. Did you lose any other drum stuff, or you were able to like salvage anything that did get some water on it or in
Yeah,
it?
it seems like all the stuff that's like not insurable, like a lot of sticks, like yeah, stuff got
Right.
rusted, like cowbells, toolboxes, stuff like that. Yeah, I've got. We had to toss out an organ that was pretty cool. That we had in the space. Yeah, I remember just seeing a few inches of water on like the orange cab of Ray's. Yeah, I can't remember everything that was tossed right now, but there's definitely pictures. I think we had to toss out PA monitors and stuff like that.
Right, right. Once you got down to your girlfriend's, is she more like downtown Asheville or close to it?
Yeah, she was at the time, and we also couldn't communicate. We literally ran into each other on the street after she had gone to the grocery store, and yeah, I was like, she's never not at her place, and yeah, just literally bumped into her on the street, and we're like, holy hell! Thankfully, yeah, it seemed like a little divine intervention or something.
Yeah.
Because yeah, it was all a guessing game. Everything from food to water to when the power is going to come back on, when the water is going to come back. Because when the main water pipe like that gets drinkable water into Asheville just beat to hell. Like I don't know if it burst or like broken in half or what, but it was beat up. So
Wow.
that hence why it was such an issue. Like the army came in and had to fix that over a month and a half ish.
Yeah. When you were up at your house, which again, I mean, you're fairly isolated, especially in that instance where there's minimal communication. Uh, did you have a sense at all? Were you hearing from other people, the few people that you could talk to, about how the flooding happened, like more downtown and along the river through Asheville? Did you have a sense of it?
Actually, yeah, kind of talking about like the puzzle piece aspect of it. Like no, because yeah, without the Wi-Fi, like
Yeah. How could you know?
all you knew was your immediate surroundings. Like oh shit, okay, I got to survive this.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had no idea that River Arts District was flooded and like just decimated. I didn't know about Swananoa being beat to hell. It was weird. It kind of took a few days to see it, like to get off the mountain and to be able to get Wi-Fi and stuff. And yeah, that made you feel even more fortunate. Like it was continually like what had happened to us all was coming to sight, and it was really just eerie and it's a crazy time.
Yeah. And then once you get down there, then you actually see it from places that you're familiar with, being from there, and you're like, holy shit, this was altered so heavily. It's unbelievable to see it.
Yeah. So you were
Unbelievable.
in New Orleans during Katrina, or
I went like an hour north, so I wasn't worried
okay,
about flooding. We were just knew trees coming through the house were going to be an issue, and they were. But
man?
I'll take that. I'll take high ground and trees through the house over flooding any day.
Yeah, really. Because it happens so damn fast. Saw a lot
Yeah.
of videos during that time, and yeah, especially if you don't know it's coming, like yeah, just feel for a lot of people, and like feel for a lot of people that were in the hollers. Like there's probably a lot of people unaccounted for, sadly.
Right.
Um, so yeah, a lot of things I feel fortunate for, like how close to downtown I was, and Dissolver, and uh, got a what is there's a World Kitchen, I believe it's called. They were providing free food. I got a lot of free lunches, and it was pretty awesome for the
Nice.
first month or so. So yeah, there's a lot of beautiful aspects of humanity coming out in a really dark time
Right.
that I'm fortunate to have seen. One of my favorite stories from during that time was like I was clearing my mountain off with this ex Florida man convict, like literally Florida man to a T. You've seen the memes.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, yeah, I don't know how much I should say, but yeah, I ended up having a breathalyzer in his van to get us down the mountain. But I didn't know if he was going to chop us up with a chainsaw. It was those kind of vibes at first, but yeah, I just had to trust the process a little bit, and um, yeah, it was great. I've got more stories, but don't want to what's the word? Not
Incriminate.
convict. Thank you, incriminate him. Yeah,
Oh
I'll have
man,
to tell
that's
you in private, but
yeah, yeah,
if you're listening, Florida man, thank you. He's one of those people that like the apocalypse needs, like moments like that. Like
yeah.
got a crazy story, been in prison multiple times, but he was helping out. And honestly, he might have been taking advantage of the situation a little bit. It was like a next door thing of like, just trying to help out and make a few bucks here and there. Like, when I passed him on this dirt mountain road, he yelled out my address. I was like, oh shit, this isn't good. I was like, how do you know where I live? But anyway, I think he had been in touch with my landlord and about her needing help and clearing stuff. But that
Gotcha.
start off on a weird foot. Like
Yeah,
this
right.
guy was sketchy vibes, but ended up
Absolutely.
helping him. We had some good jokes together, and yeah, thank you, Florida man, for the help.
Man, I'm assuming you know it. I can't imagine that Andrew Schneider wouldn't have told you, but you share a crazy correlation with him because he opened up a studio, and within the first month of opening it, there was a once in a lifetime flooding in the Gowanus area of Brooklyn. He
Mhm.
lost his entire studio and
Yeah.
everything in it.
Oh man, he reached out a week or two after, and yeah, it was really heartfelt, and yeah, I think it probably brought tears to our eyes at the time. It was like such a sweet message about like, hey man, I know what you're going through.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, to the entire band, he wrote it. But yeah, it
that's
was
cool.
just it was really sweet of him. Haven't met him in person. We'd love to, because yeah, he's been a part of so many albums we love, from like Cave In to I can't even
Totally.
remember the rest.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know he's like right in our wheelhouse and of our both of our listening tastes.
Yeah, 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 for sure.